Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Writer Studio with Ashlee Haze. This is our first installment, and I'm super excited to introduce you to this process. And so, I teach writing workshops all over the country, and one of my favorites to teach is Coping Mechanism, a writing and release workshop. And in this workshop, we process grief through the writing of poetry. And so, your prompt for today is to write grief as a thing that you can touch or feel. Write it as a metaphor. If it were something that existed as a thing, what would it be? And I'm going to read you an example of a poem, the poem that actually inspired this prompt. I wrote it very shortly after my father died, and it is called "The Spot Just Won't Come Out." My father died, and every morning I wake up with grief outstretched, covering me like an extra blanket, grief dripping down the walls, grief rising from my clothes like cheap perfume, grief stuck under my shoes like stepped in gum, grief in the crevices of my teeth, grief spilled on the rug I just bought. This grief, this rugged thing, it is ugly all over, and I got it all over everything. So as you see in that poem, grief becomes this thing that shows up in a lot of places, becomes this thing that's like stuck under my shoes, this annoyance, this thing that's in me like perfume. And what I've learned about writing about grief as an object or as a thing that exists outside of you is it sort of makes it easier to process, or at least it has for me, because it comes this manageable thing, this thing that you can touch, feel, and sort of manipulate. So please use this opportunity to make it whatever you need to be in the word. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments. I would love it if you would post some of the work you've written in the comments. We can workshop it with each other, give each other feedback, always kind and thoughtful feedback, always productive. And hopefully we'll see you next time on Writer Studio with Ashlee Haze.